Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. The large, brutish men, spears in hand, barely able to make you out in the little bit of moonlight there is, come to fight you. And we can roll initiative, but we'll do it theater of mind as is appropriate.
Hexagon rolls a 5.
Where's my... here we go. Here's our two dudes, and this one, what is it? Spear initiative 6, I believe? Which means they definitely can't go slower than you.
Can I ready my actions?
Absolutely.
Like, let them come to me. So I think I will approach on the far side of their smoldering fire and ask him, for what foul purpose do you take this child?
So that your lands may fall under our domain, cries the first man as he grabs his spear and goes to gut you with it.
Pause. Can I... So using my glancing blow, it's an instantaneous spell. Is there a limit to the number of those that can be used per round? And is there a... Does it interrupt any of my actions? Can I get my full allotment of attacks while still doing these instant casts?
This is an area I was hoping I could get your input on, because in theory, if you can cast, if they're instantaneous, you could blow 90 MP in a single round, just being like glancing blow, glancing blow, glancing blow, glancing blow. But that feels a little weird, which is why I put that sentence about, like, preferably someone will say they're going to use it ahead of time, like I'll use it on this one attack or something. Because it feels weird for you just to someone to glancing blow everything around them all the time. So I don't know how to, like, enforce a limit that is reasonable and flexible. Other than
you could add something to the spell that's like once per level per round or something like that. Or maybe it's not a problem. I mean, maybe you want it to be the kind of thing where if, like, a 20th level wizard can just stack a million first level spells, blow all their MP and deflect everything.
I think you
could make it. That's a good suggestion from chat. You can make it use your attacks of opportunity.
Ooh.
Right? So you can do once per attack of opportunity or something like that. And it uses up that attack of opportunity. So if this were 5e, it would just be a reaction.
Your reaction, right. And we could sort of treat attacks of opportunity like reactions. I think the problem is that you get one attack of opportunity every 5 levels for a caster, like a wizard. Yeah. So your normal wizard would have to be once until your 5th level. And I feel like
crazy, but
it doesn't seem strong enough. I feel like there should be more than that.
You want to be able to use more than one? I mean, like, I was even thinking, like, you think you need to be able to use more than one around?
I feel like a 4th level wizard should be able to do it twice. Twice or 3 times. My bigger concern is that it's like something that you can see about to happen. So in a small fight like this, where there's just 2 people and they're both in front of you, it seems pretty reasonable that you could get it on all the attacks. But if you're, like, in a sea of battle with 40 people and a wizard's like, I want to glancing blow that thing over there, that's where it starts to get, like, you might not see it in time to glancing blow it.
You can clarify. So, I mean, I think it needs to be an attack that you see coming, that you expect.
That's a good.
I feel like using it as your opportunity attack, or using it as, or you can get as many as you. I mean, tying it to opportunity attack seems interesting, or just once per level seems fine as well.
Let's say you can do it a number of times equal to the number of opportunity attacks you have, but it doesn't replace your opportunity attack.
Okay.
I think you're a fighter wizard, so you'll have 3 anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I only have enough MP for 3, but yeah.
Is this between the target and income? Okay, so this doesn't have to necessarily be you, right? Range is 5 feet per level. Okay.
Oh, interesting. So you could glance for someone else's.
Okay. Right. It can be used to defend allies as well.
Right.
I've updated the wording to say that you can see it.
And this can be declared after it would have hit. Is that true?
No, you're supposed to declare it before the attack is made.
So you burn the MP even if the attack would have missed.
Oh, I see.
Which, I mean, I think that seems fine, but it changes the strategy.
Reduces the damage. So I think you can say I want to use this when an attack will on the next attack that will hit me, and it doesn't burn it until it actually hits, but you sort of like declare that you're going to do it before the attack is rolled, and then it only goes into effect.
Probably always be
happens.
Declaring glancing blows.
That's fine. It'll burn through your MP quickly, which is sort of a nice thing to do, because the MP system gives you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah,
and I
but
think
you don't burn it until it hits. So I will cast glancing blows if their attacks hits. I also get my free blocks.
Cool. This seems like a good way to go about it for now.
So when they step within range, I make my attacks first off.
Mm-hmm. Attack singular? You get one attack per round, right? You're expertised?
I am expertised, and I am a martial artist, so I get first I will get my... let's see. So I get a staff, which is a miss, and I do get an offhand punch, which is a little slower, and we'll go... There, I'm attacking when they're attacking.
Right.
So I'll take a punch, which I think is a hit.
Mm-hmm.
3 points of damage.
Excellent.
So, and then I get a free block. So the first guy is stabbing me with a spear, a 9. We're negating my penalty and negating his AC, so I don't think a 9 is gonna hit.
So his AC, you have a -2 to hit, so this becomes a 7, and his AC is 10, which becomes an 8. So
I think it misses by 1. Doesn't matter. All right.
Okay. So
he gets his attack.
First spear thrust comes for your belly, and is a 7 to hit.
Okay.
And the second spear thrust, actually it's a 5 because the low light. And the second one is going to be a natural 20, which is down to an 18.
Which glances off. It does not crit, actually. It clears by like 1.
Oh my god, you have such high AC. Yeah.
17 AC. So I think it just does regular damage.
Yes.
Reduced by 5 because it glances off.
5 is the average of a spear blow. So the damage is 4 plus 2 is 6. You will glance it for 5, so it will do 1 to you. Instead of gutting all the way through you, it kind of hits off to the side and scrapes your abdomen on your left side, giving you a nice long slash that would be bright red in the daylight. And then
armor. Which one? Let's see. 8 plus 1, so 10 points. I'll have 9 points of my armor left. All right.
Okay. And we will go to the second round of combat.
Ooh,
the
slow.
wounded, not the wounded, the non-wounded man will grunt and say to the other one, "Grab the girl, take her back. I'll deal with this guy." And that will be the preface of this round of combat. Whoops, I got this backwards. This should be a 10. There we go. So the non-wounded one will kind of stay with you, dancing back and forth, and make an attack against you, which is
I get a free block.
Mm-hmm.
Which 10 will hit, and probably does he?
He misses, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I smack his spear as a show of domination, anyways.
Mm-hmm. And he is sticking with you. The next guy will take a withdraw action, using this guy as like the cover to withdraw by.
Which one's the next? Like, I guess they both go before me, don't they?
They both go before you, yeah.
Okay.
So the one will withdraw and then pick up the girl, as she's like a little bundle.
Withdraw, he can only move a third of his movement, so
right.
20... sorry.
He doesn't, by the time
feet.
he like gets back up and grabs the girl and throws him over his shoulder, he's only like 20 or 30 feet from you.
Yeah.
You can
let's
push
see how quickly I can dispatch this guy.
Mm-hmm.
A smack of the staff is a 13. Are they
Is
armored?
a hit? They have no armor on. They are just burly men with spears.
5 damage. I don't know if this is the same one I punched last round.
No, the wounded one already backed off. This guy takes the 5 damage. What is this? This is a staff, so it's like a blow to his head. Mm-hmm. Yeah, He stutters to the side with it, stays on his feet, and keeps himself facing you.
All right, and I get my extra attack for my finesse. Oh, come on.
Dice.
And I will... like circle around him and back towards the guy that went off with the girl.
Yeah, so this guy's gonna, if you try and move, he will shadow with you to keep him interposed between you and the other dude.
But I think we can move the fight. Oh, interpose.
Yeah, so if there was two of them and one of you, and then one of them like backs off this way, so if you try to move to get to this guy, he'll shadow with you using his movement so he's always between you and the girl is the plan. He's trying to keep them from you. Open up. There we go.
Okay. Yeah. I'll provoke an OA if the other guy takes off running fast enough. You should roll a strength to see how encumbered he is with a small child. Let's roll initiative for the next round and see how it plays out. So.
So we will have that and that. Ooh, you will go before both of them.
11 should hit.
No. This guy actually, you did win initiative. 11 will hit. He was going to use his tumbling proficiency to improve his AC by 4 and forego all of his attacks.
So but he declares that beforehand, right?
He declares it beforehand, but the rules, I just looked him up. You have to win initiative to get the AC bonus.
I mean, it's up to you. That seems fine. I'm fine to let him, because then he wouldn't provoke. Then I could run away without provoking OAs, right?
Ooh.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe, right? If he's tumbling to avoid attacks, I assume that means you don't get to take OAs. Maybe.
Aside from entertaining,
I guess if he can't. Yeah. I guess if he can't do it anyways, it doesn't matter. Do you actually need to win initiative to use that?
The character with tumbling proficiency can improve his AC by 4 against attacks directed solely at him in any round of combat, provided he has the initiative and forgoes all attacks that round. I kind of feel like it should be on roll for initiative. I feel like if you declare
it before you roll for initiative, you just don't roll initiative. But
I think that's the thing, yeah. He doesn't roll initiative, and he is just defending and shadowing.
But does he get opportunity attacks if he's tumbling? Like, can I just walk away from... Like, he's dodging. It seems like he's dodging. He doesn't... Like, I can just walk away. But... Like, I don't think you can be tumbling and... Let's see.
So, I think you would probably be able to walk away, but if you wanted to just, like, walk past him, he's still between you, right? He's still a threat. He's not... He might not be going after you. So I feel like there are...
Forgoes all attacks. That seems to me like it should forgo opportunity attacks, which is a type of attack.
Then imagine a situation where it's two people in a hallway and one person's defending, the other person's like, well, I'm just going to walk through his square then. And the guy's just like tumbling.
We're in like an open campsite.
Sure, but if it were that situation, would it provoke an attack of opportunity if you try to walk through somebody who's tumbling to defend?
Not if they're doing like a... I don't know how tumbling to defend to improve your AC looks. It's like, is that doing like a backflip out of the way or something?
No, I think it just means that you are taking defensive action. You're taking evasive maneuvers and you're staying out of attacks and not making an attack. But I think if someone like all of a sudden drops their guard, that's still an opportunity.
Drop my guard. Like he tumbles out of the way and then I use that to just like circle around him and go towards his companion.
Maybe that's the difference between tumble and parry. Maybe parry because that gives you an AC bonus of like what, half your level or something. But there should be a way to go into full defense but still get your opportunity attacks if someone tries to press into you, right?
Let's see, parry. It's a no move action that is in effect for the entire round. If he parries, he cannot move, attack, or he can't even move. Move, attack, or cast spells, reduces his AC.
Move, attack, cast spells. This frees character
His
concentrate
what's
solely on defense.
PHBs. Let's see, he's able to block. Let's see. Forfeit all actions. He can't move, attack. This is the player's handbook now. Can't move, attack, or can attack, move, or cast spells. AC bonus equal to half their level. So he can't even move if he parries. I mean, I think, yeah.
Okay, I think he's taking total defense. He doesn't get any attacks or opportunity attacks, but I think he can still put himself between you and this other person, even if he's not making attacks against you.
But I can just circle around him.
Yeah, but if he moves with you...
He can't move.
He's not parrying, he's tumbling.
Okay, I mean, okay.
So
he, he tumbles in front of me?
Well, I mean, I don't think when tumbling, I don't think it means you move only in flips and rolls, right? Mm-hmm. As interesting as that might sound, I think tumbling is a label. Aside from entertaining, tumbling can improve his AC by 4. He forgoes all attacks.
I get frustrated and I punch him in the face. He dies. Okay. Only 2 points of damage.
Well, he has 2 HP left, so you will knock him out. He'll hit the ground like a sack of potatoes.
And I jump over his twitching, tumbling body and rush to his companion.
You rush to the companion who's hoisting the girl who is now kicking and flailing her legs.
It's over. Leave the girl.
He chucks her in the water and runs.
Provoking an OA, or does he withdraw?
I guess it's a... So, let me put it... He chucks her into the water and then sort of stands there, and you know that she won't be able... She can't... She's tied up, so if you don't go get her, she will drown in the water, like, right away. So then he waits for you to...
Drown right away.
I mean, not right away. Like, it'll take a minute or two, right? But he he throws her in the water and then, like, readies a... flee action if you choose to come after him instead of going after the girl, or readies a flee in case you go after the girl, or will otherwise stay and be defensive. So he's like waiting for you to go save her so he can run. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll initiative.
Okay, yeah. You can roll initiative. You can see that he's ready to fight, or ready to just like let her drown and run off. Oops, that's not all right. He should have 3 more than that. He will go to pick up his spear in case you want to stick around, but you win initiative by far.
I don't think he does get to pick up. I mean, we'll see. That's a miss, damn. But I clock him with a fist.
That will crit for 4, which will knock him out as well. Okay, both of them are at exactly 0.
Feint with the staff, and then just let go and just punch him, knocking him out. And then go to pull the girl out of the pond. 1 minute in a pond is not going to drown a girl.
That'll be fine. She can hold her breath for 1/3 her con, so you can easily fish her out of the couple feet of water and untie her if you so desire.
Yeah, I'll cut her loose.
Okay.
Pull out a knife and cut her loose. Did she have was her mouth bound as well?
Yes, she had been gagged.
Persephone?
Persephone.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Persephone? I say. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Who were those thugs? Beat me. They kicked me. They dragged me away. They said they were going to sacrifice me. Or kidnap. It was bad.
It's okay. I beat them back.
Now that she's free, she will go over to one of the bodies and kick the unconscious man in the testicles a few times for petty revenge.
Are you okay? Not
Cuts
too bad
and bruises,
there? Oh.
Nothing that won't heal, says the... I don't know, she's like 14, 13, 12. Hard to tell. She's young. Little kid. Not little kid, but, adolescent.
We should wait till morning to head back. I put a hand on the fire and it immediately relights.
All right. Is that your last bit of MP for the day?
I have 3 MP left.
Okay. The campfire springs back to life. She goes over and rifles through their food supplies because they have some small sacks of food and munches on it.
I offer her the bread or whatever that I have as well.
Oh, yeah.
How old is this kid?
12 to 14. I guess it's a small village. You would probably... She's the village elder's youngest daughter, so you would probably know her somewhat. She's 12 years old.
I say, my name is Devon. I've come from...
You're one of the goat herders, right?
I smirk. Yes, I'm a shepherd. Bringing back one of our flock.
He gives you a funny look, but continues to munch on the bread. Platos does not make himself visible during this time.
Okay. I will go to subdue the two guys. Are they dead?
No, they're
Just
actually each at
unconscious?
0 from like fist bludgeoning to the face. So they'll wake up in a few hours.
I will restrain them. Can I find more rope? I guess I cut the one she had. Like, do they have...
They brought one strand of rope to tie up a person.
I don't even think I could get them back to town anyways.
Yeah, there's no way you could haul 2 grown men back to town.
Yeah. What should we do with your kidnappers? I ask her.
The mother says we should be merciful, but her sister says we should kill them. I don't know which one to listen to. They said something about other people being kidnapped and taken to a village.
No, I heard some of that too. They must be making sacrifices or something. Once I get you back, I'll see what this is all about.
What if you kill one and set one free? And that way we appease both gods.
You're a wise kid. Seems like a worthy compromise.
She seems pleased that you have complimented her on her wisdom.
Does she seem to have interest in killing them, or am I supposed to do it?
She's a 12-year-old kid. She's not going to kill them.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I will grab the one that was running off with her and drag him out of the light radius of camp.
Mm-hmm. And this would be your first time killing a human being. You fought monsters in the past. Can you really do it? Can you do it, Devon? An unconscious person in cold blood?
I feel like it's easier if they're unconscious. I don't know if does this count as cold blood when it's like after they were fighting and kidnapping.
Yeah, because the battle's
still
definitely
pumping.
over. Your heart might be pumping, but they're unconscious and unable to do anything. They are completely defenseless at this point. How do you do it?
How do you deserve it? Unless Plato says anything, I drag him outside of the light radius of the torch. Pull out the silver dagger from Seltzer's tomb and just run it cleanly across his throat.
Yeah, you have slaughtered many a goat in your lifetime.
That's exactly how I do it. Just roll him over to bleed out. The girl had already searched their bodies, right? So he doesn't have any coin purse or anything on him.
Right. They seem to have just brought with them a little bit of food and some rope and their spears and no other gear. I guess some like a tinderbox. But they look like they were prepared to be traveling light. There's no tents, there's no bedrolls, there's no other supplies.
Platos, here's an offering of more blood for you.
He will slide out of his backpack and down your arm.
Still trying to figure out what this old demon wants.
He will sip the blood, just a few little sippy sips, and then climb back up your arm and back into your backpack where it's nice and warm.
I
Whisper
head
in
back
your
to
ear.
to the camp.
Well done, my servant.
One for death, and one for the god of death, and one for the god of life. I go back and give the unconscious guy near the campfire a bit of a kick.
Yep.
I had wiped off the dagger probably on the guy that I killed and resheathed it.
Okay. Well, if you are going to rest here for the night, at some point he will wake up. Probably not in the middle of the night. If he regains consciousness, he'll probably be asleep. To differentiate
There's enough
between
rope left to tie him up, right?
Yeah, if you cut the knot, then most of the rope is intact. You've just cut off the last couple feet of it.
I don't know if she was hog-tied or something, so maybe I've got 2 separate strands that can be used to tie his hands and feet separately or something.
It was 1920s madman tying a woman to the railroad, curled around the body so her arms are pinned to her sides style.
Yeah, so I think he's just got his hands tied behind his back and his feet tied together.
Mm-hmm.
And I do my best to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point he wakes up screaming or something.
No, I think he will. There's a difference between being unconscious and being asleep, and I think when his unconsciousness wears off, he will just be asleep because he'll be tired and exhausted, and it'll be dark, and he will regain consciousness in the morning.
He was bludgeoned to death. I think there are specific rules for getting, what is it called, non-lethal damage or something?
Yeah, punching will deal half real, half temporary damage or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's something about if you get knocked out, you regain consciousness. Let's see, in some number of hours, pummeling.
Mm-hmm. But I think it makes sense maybe I'll give him a con check. And if on a pass, he'll wake up in the night, and in a failure, he'll just be asleep and then wake up when the sun rises.
Character reaches 0 hit points due to punching attacks or any combination of punching and normally falls unconscious. Doesn't say. I thought there was somewhere where it was and then you wake up in X number of hours or something.
Yeah. He will wake up with sunrise, same as you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Tied up.
Persephone, should we drag the mother's child with us back to Necrot, or leave him here?
The 12-year-old kid looks up at you and shrugs. She is not equipped to make these decisions. She might be the village elder's granddaughter, but she's far from being the village elder herself.
She shrugs.
Oh, no. What do you think?
Come on, let's go. And I start dragging him along with us.
Okay. He will pick up his feet and walk behind you, bound.
Yeah, I'll just sort of tug him along. We probably make slow going, but we can still probably get back to our village in a day.
Yep.
So is that 1, 2?
Yep. You will get back to Necrot the next day, or that day. The guy that is walking with you, it sounds like you haven't asked him any questions.
I don't think so. Does he talk much, or does he just come along?
He does not talk much.
Interesting.
Okay. I just want to make notes so I don't forget where we are. This will be... he will, at some point, though, wait for an opportune moment when he thinks you are least paying attention and try to burst or slip out of his restraints and escape. So probably you take a moment to use the bathroom, or you are getting rocks out of your sandals or something. Moment when you're
I think he comes with me when I go to the bathroom, and so maybe I'm taking a piss and he's 5 feet away, and I let
right, but you're still you got your hands on your junk or near your junk. There at some point you'll have a slight moment of distractedness, and he'll get 1 check. What is the check to slip out of restraints?
There's a rope use proficiency that lets you do this, and it has that built in. So maybe do that at half or something.
Yeah, rope use at half. I would not call this man a proficient rope user.
The character's hands are bound and held with a knot. He can roll a proficiency check with a -6 penalty to escape the bonds. That seems a bit harsh.
That seems. Really
I don't have
harsh.
a rope use proficiency myself, so maybe the
-6 cancels out.
Maybe you need to have a full rope use to like tie someone tightly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll give him a rope use at half to see if he can loosen his bonds to slip out at some point, and then we'll just see what the dice say and interpret them. We'll cast bones, Ryan. 12 plus half his dex is probably a failure, but who knows? Maybe he's got crazy dex. 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 6 is 13. Half of that is 7. No, 6 plus 12 is only an 18. So he will struggle and wriggle, and he'll never be able to really break
try and limp away,
free.
but I can just jog after him and snatch him.
Give him a bend bars to see if he can burst it. But a 67% is way too high. He will struggle a few times and never escape. And that's that.
Get back here, fool. And we'll drag him the rest of the way to Necrot.
All right. You will arrive that day, and the people will be overjoyed to see Persephone return. She's back. She's alive.
Go to the elder's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You arrive at the elder's house, and he comes out to see her. Her father and mother come out as well, tears streaming down their face as they lift their daughter up in the air. The village elder personally comes to you and does a deep bow before you, leaning heavily on his walking stick, and says, "Devon, you've saved poor Persephone. I don't know how to thank you."
I am but a simple shepherd tending his flock.
No, nonsense. You're a hero of our village.
You know, your granddaughter is a wise girl. There were 2 men that took her, and I asked what should be done of them. She carefully weighed the mother's compassion, forgiveness, with the swift vengeance of the goddess of death. So, I sacrificed one to death, and bring this one before you. Life spared to share what foul plans our neighbors in the southeast are scheming. Do the gods have names at this point? So, like, would I? So Martha and Verasi would have probably been who she was referring to.
Yeah, absolutely. There might be, if you wish, there can be colloquial names for them as well. Probably they have slightly different names in different parts of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he say anything, or just listening more?
Little Persephone? The source of such wisdom? I'm baffled.
You've raised her well. These brigands stole her for some sort of vile ritual or sacrifice. I think there may be other victims. They seek to control us, control the lands. What village are you from? I asked the prisoner, giving him a prod. I smack him on the ankle with my staff.
He grumbles, Romulus.
Did you roll? Do you have a die that has Romulus on one of its faces?
Nope. But I stand by the name.
Is that a village southeast of here? Or are we about to...
You aren't really familiar with
the
village of Romulus. You've never heard of it before.
Is it not on the map because we're about to wipe them off the face of the earth?
Well, none of the villages are on the map at this point. Only Nekrot is. Because we live in a time where there's no empires, there's no cities, there's no overarching lords or anything. It's just a village and the people who live there, and they have whatever relations they do. So there is no higher authority other than the deities at this point. So there's not really like maps of the nearby areas. Everything is just, I know where this is, I know where that is. Like paper might be produced somewhere, but probably nowhere that you've been. You know, that there's not enough people that would have a need for paper that you would have a specialized paper maker. Maybe a couple people would know how to press papyrus or something together, or could dry out animal hides for some, what do you call it? It's not tallow, it's parchment. So
I've let go of him, and I think I give him a shove so that he'll hopefully leave out of earshot so I can talk with the elder. So maybe he like staggers off. Does he stay obediently by our side, or does he like?
If you give him a shove, he'll stagger off. But before he can get too far, other villagers will come by and intimidate him, and start, insulting him and kicking him and throwing dirt at him. Not physically damaging him, but definitely humiliating and punishing.
I shove him away from us and leave him to the mercy of the mob. And I will ask the elder, do you know where Romulus is? Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Well, they've heard of you.
Well,
I will journey to this Romulus and see what it is they are plotting, and to whom they make these sacrifices.
You're a true hero, Devon. If you come back from this, we shall honor you with a feast and a ceremony.
Well, it's been a long day. I need rest.
Please. Thank you again.
I'll go back to my house, I guess.
You'll be interrupted on your way by the mother and father of Persephone, who will personally thank you and offer you what little bits of silver that they have. They will give you 15 silver coins.
Is that a thing? Should I take it? I guess. I mean, they're rich, right?
No, everyone's poor. This is like all that they've got, but you've saved their daughter and they're grateful to you.
No, keep... I will initially refuse. It's the kind of thing where they insist, and then
they insist and shove the coins in your hands. Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'll go up to 45 silver then.
Okay.
And go rest in my own bed.
All right.
Do I have my own room, or is it just like a one-room shack that I share with my whole family?
It's a one-room shack you share with your whole family. But they hear of your exploits and they don't bother you today. Even though you haven't herded goats in weeks, or not pulling your weight around, but you did save the girl, so they leave you in peace, and you can rest the whole day and sleep the next night. Well, I guess it's evening by the time you arrive, or late afternoon.
So I sleep through the night.
You sleep deeply this night.
And I will rest long enough into the next day to regain my HP.
Perfect. 1 HP back and 1d willpower back.
Yeah, only 1d willpower. Can I not? Maybe I'll spend the next day studying. If that's the case. So I guess we'll do 1d13. 11 is actually pretty good. So that brings me to 14 more than good. Out of 18. But it's actually only one shy of my max with an armor spell in the tank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 1 day of rest, and Devon is at full strength, ready to go back. Imagine being this good.
I was barely scratched, but I am a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So the trouble is, if I get one more MP, I can cast an extra spell, because it takes 3 for a cast. I think I will bother doing that. And I think to regain my HP... do I need a full day of rest? So I took a scratch in combat. How long do I actually need to rest to gain that HP
you
back?
took a scratch and then you rested that night, and then you had a day of activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it strenuous, but of certain activity. So if you're resting the next day and studying and whatnot, then it'll be fine.
Maybe I don't need I guess a regular night of rest will be fine. Okay. Let's keep moving.
All right. So you're not going to get that one extra MP back?
It seems like a waste of a day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, when you do wake up, you will find that this prisoner has been staked in town, not like killed, but a stake driven into the ground, and he's tied to it. So he's forced into a sitting position just in the middle of the village and is baking in the sun with no screen or shield from it, no water or food.
Okay. I will approach him. So I'll get up and get my stuff together and leave and see him in the center of town. And I'll walk over.
He sees you coming.
I will pour my water skin over his head.
He will slurp up what he can get with his tongue and look somewhat refreshed.
I'll crouch down next to him. Okay. I'm going to visit Romulus. I say. Is there anything I should know of your hometown?
They'll kill you.
Just like you were going to?
He grimaces at the painful memory of being beaten upside the head by you.
To whom do you make these sacrifices?
Do
you have a god?
We're not murdering children. We're just capturing them, taking them hostage. We make sacrifices of goats and pigs and sheep.
Sacrifices to what?
To the gods of darkness, in the night sky where they do not shine.
Bum, bum, bum. How many in your village?
150. More than one man can deal with. Now, 150 does mean women, children, men, elderly. About half of that are going to be like functioning adults. The other half will be children or the infirmed. So 150, that's like 75 adults, and most of them aren't fighters. Most of them are just going to be regular civilians.
Perhaps too much for one man. But what about for a god? I say as I stand ominously and walk off into the plains to try and find this Romulus. I pack up enough food for my journey this time and refill my water skin.
Yep. The people of the village will offer you all the food that they have that you might need in order to do this, rather than having to rely on your own household supply. They see fit.
I have plenty of money now. In fact, maybe I should leave some coins for my parents so they'll quit hassling me about the goats. How much does a goat herder make in a week? Is there even a way to compute this?
No, because you guys aren't really living in a wage-based society, right? I'll
leave the 13 silver reward that I got. I don't know if it was in a separate pouch or if it was just like a fistful of silver coins that they gave me.
It was just a fistful, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll leave those 15 like on my nightstand before I leave.
So generally your people don't spend any money day to day because you're goat herders, you herd your goats, but then like you need a new pot, you'll shell out like a silver for the pot from the potter over there, but
yeah.
So wages, it's not a wage economy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You head off to find Romulus, following that same creek, I take it?
Yeah, for now. And then, I think we'll just sort of wander southeast.
Yep.
1, 2, and then I think I will camp again at that pond.
Okay. You camp at the pond. No sign. We should roll enemy counters, but no sign of any other people. The body of the other guy is sort of here. Like you can find little bits of him. It looks like some sort of wild animals tore him apart.
Yeah.
Some of him has been dragged off. Other parts of him have just been picked at and eaten by smaller creatures. So you'll find like a rib cage and a torso, and a head over there. But like the arms and the legs have been dragged off by something bigger.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, I looked for it, but that's fine. I leave it alone. Seemed like a suitable campsite beside a pond, so I rest there.
You rest through the night, despite the howls of the wolves. They do not approach.
Got no goat bait this time.
And come morning, you can continue to travel. The creek will lead you due east, actually.
Oh, east. Okay, so not there. So I guess, so I'll follow the creek east.
And you will see the confluence of other creeks as well, and a village appearing next to one of these creeks that still has a little bit of water flowing through it. Not a lot. It's a trickle, I would call it. But the creek is wide enough that it fills up, so it just like flows very slowly. And if there's like a little waterfall position, it'll just trickle down the waterfall.
Did I have a restful enough night last night that I can regain MP, or can you not gain MP while traveling? Let's see what you say here. Sleep's important, and then good sleep is worthless. Good sleep is warm, dry, and uninterrupted.
Yeah, I think that was warm, dry, and uninterrupted.
Okay, so it's good sleep. It was not a quality. So quality gives you advantage. So if you sleep in a bed or in your own house, you get advantage. So actually, yeah. Okay. So I can regain that 1 extra MP.
Right. I guess you should have rolled that other one at advantage, but I doubt you'd roll higher than 11 on a D13 anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. You're good.
I will not approach the village. I will instead circle around it, exploring the outlying territory and maybe seeing if I can get a view of what's going on in the village from far.
Well, the first thing you'll notice is a sheep herder and hold on, let me roll some dice here. His son. They are walking with the sheep. They've got a dog with them. Dog is making sure they don't get too far off, and they're just grazing on the little shrubs that are here on the hillside. And you'll see them as you're trying to circle around the town. The sheep herder will wave a crooked staff in your direction as a friendly greeting.
I will wave back, but unless he beckons me over, I will kind of just circle around.
Yeah, he doesn't wave back, or he does not beckon you over.
Yeah.
So you can stay out of range.
Spotted, but I will ignore him, and I will kind of taste the joint, get a feel for the size of the town, its extent. If I can get a good vantage, view, if I can find a hill a mile off to look into the town square and see if they've got babies in cages or something like that, or
give me
altars to death gods or whatever they're into.
Give me a wisdom willpower check.
Sure. 25.
Yeah, this village is probably too small to be Romulus.
Okay.
It looks like it's maybe only 80 people. You see 10 buildings, 10 little huts down below. This is probably just another coincidental village on the way.
Gotcha. In that case, I will probably approach them for directions. Do I see this as I'm first approaching? Is that sheep herder nearby, or should I find someone else?
The sheep herder is within sight, a 10-minute walk to him from your position.
Yeah. So I will double back and go approach this sheep herder.
Yep.
Greetings, shepherd.
Greetings, stranger. Do you need food or drink?
I have my own supplies. I am...
Are you sure? Betty here has just had a calf. A kid. He reaches down and squeezes some milk into his hand and slurps it up. Fresh off the teat.
Sounds delicious, but I am seeking out Romulus, the village.
His face immediately darkens.
First I thought this was it, but...
No. No, the great and terrible Romulus is to the southeast from here. Follow the creek further and you'll reach it.
I nod. They stole they attempted to kidnap our elder's daughter. Our elder's granddaughter. Have they taken some of yours as well?
Yes. They've taken the grandson of our village elder. Held him captive. Told us to pay them tribute. 2 goats, 2 sheep, and 2 pigs every month. And they will keep him safe. We've been at it for a while, and he's still safe. Every month the tribute is offered, and the grandson is seen.
Where is Romulus? How many miles?
5 or 6 miles so down the creek, near the plains.
Okay. Then I will bid him farewell and continue traveling.
He looks on in curiosity and wonder, trying to imagine what you will do when you arrive, but does not pry into your business.
Still trying to figure it out myself.
Okay. I guess you continue along the way until a village of about the right size pops into view. This must be Romulus.
I approach slightly more cautiously than the last time, more just because I'm expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will do much the same, so steering at least a mile or so clear of the village and like circling around it to try and get a good good view of what's going on inside.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it'll be evening by now. You can see the lights in the village. A large fire in the middle. You can smell the sweetness of roasting meat over the fire. Meat is sort of I wouldn't say a delicacy, but it's not something that you guys get to eat all the time. Because if you eat too much meat, then you don't have the animals, and you need the animals for the milk and the fur and whatnot. So that they're roasting meat casually is sort of a sign of wealth and power and influence.
Yeah. Do they have prisoners in cages or anything like that? Is there an altar to their dark gods?
You can see
maybe a cloud of evil spirits circling overhead.
You can see maybe 100 adults gathered around a fire in the evening. They're like multiple layers stacked. The closest people are presently dancing around the fire. You'll see that.
Of course they are.
Some of these folks are armed with weapons, with spears. Some of them have wooden shields that have been hacked together from like branches, that like woven branches together for shields. And one person sitting on a wicker throne has a large brass shield and a spear with a gleaming brass head on it. This individual is also wearing like the hides of animals over his back and draped over his burly muscled chest. He looks definitely like the military leader, probably the leader of this place, and a fearsome man with metal equipment. What else are you looking for?
A water source.
There's
crouched on this hill looking down over the village. Does the same creek feed into this village?
Comes right through the village.
Atropos. Or sorry, not I got it. It'll come to me. Platypus.
Platos. It's like Plato with an S on it.
Yeah. Platos. Can you show me how you fouled the water, Grekos? Can we do the same? these not even heathens. What's the word for people that worship the wrong gods?
Blasphemer or heathen?
Blasphemers. There you go. Yeah.
He will hiss at you and say, "Again, we can foul its red with blood. Build me a shrine here. It takes time. Give me a week, and they will drink their own blood. Die."
All right. I will. Does the creek flow from north to south? Is it flowing
Like
towards the village
northwest, southeast-ish, yeah.
So I will circle back. Maybe you can have the village roll a collected perception check to see if they saw the outline of a figure on the hill overlooking overlooking their festivities that night.
No one.
Yeah, I will back off and head a little ways northwest, and see if I can find a suitable spot upriver, up the creek from them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like a bend in the creek where there's like a little secluded gully.
There will be many twists and bends and outcropping rocks that can give you protection from this village.
Yeah, and I will find a little spot up the creek to settle in.
Okay. You settle in. Platos tells you he will need time to make it. He doesn't just, fork his tongue out and it's fine instantly. Mm-hmm. But it'll take a while for him to work his magics.
Right. I am not much of a crafter, but we'll see what I can do.
Are you going to build him a shrine?
I'm going to build him a shrine. So in this little gully next to the creek.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably evening by the time I find this creek, so I'll rest until morning, I guess.
Okay. You rest until morning. And then you...
And set to work. I will, I will scour the nearby area for building materials. Mm-hmm. Maybe sticks are probably the
sticks and rocks.
Simplest and easiest. Are there rocks?
There'll be rocks around, and the snake is a little particular about which rocks you bring over. Sometimes you'll place something, and he'll be like, "No, turn it 90 degrees. That's it. Yes, I want that rock." There seems to be some sort of method to his madness, even if it's difficult to detect.
And I think I build a shrine similar to the one he complained about back in Grekos. Mm-hmm. If not cruder even. But I build like a little mini spirits hut next to the river here with sticks and stones. How long does it take to build it? Is this like a week of fiddling with it to get it?
Probably takes you a couple of hours to build a small shrine. There's plenty of sticks and rocks around, so.
Okay. And let's see. Skills. Arcanology. Like, are there runes that I'm aware of? Is that a thing? Magic circles. Insertion. I wish I were Greg. He'd know what to do right now. So I build this little shrine. When it's done, I will light a small bit of frankincense as an offering to Platos. And I think just wait on him, right? So I'll hang around in this little valley for a week or whatever it is, doing what he asks, running errands for him, hopefully catching mice and stuff. And I just like tidy this little gully and like make it right for a evil spirit to inhabit. I guess the evil spirit in this case being Platos, but just like, and it's probably odd little things, right? Like maybe at first I'm not quite sure what to do, and he's got to tell me, no, turn the rock just so. But as the days pass, it's like me going around and trying to see these things for myself. Be like, oh, the stick is all wrong. And just like turning and like adjusting the sticks and breaking branches and trimming the shrubs this way and that.
The flow of rocks from the shrine towards the creek seems to be important until...
I certainly adjust the flow of the creek, right? Like move, like dig the shore a little bit and move the rock. Maybe, I don't know if I build a small dam or like a little pool, or like redirect the water so that it goes just in front of the shrine. Yes. Maybe even the shrine is up on small like stilts, like right at the banks of the water.
He seems pleased by the approach of water towards him. Excellent.
I'm imagining like if anyone happened, like, have you ever been like on a hike or something near a creek or a lake or something, and you find like a spot where a bunch of kids had been playing, and you're like, oh, there's a little dam here and a weird little mud hut, and like, right?
And so someone stacked these rocks in like a little tower, and here's like an archway that someone's built, and
right. So this little valley turns into a creepy little fairy valley.
Well, the first day is fine. The second day passes without any problems. The third day, you are visited by one of the people coming up creek from down below.
Can we roll opposed checks or something to see who spots who first, or who hears who first, or how any of that goes?
Yes, absolutely. Please give me a perception check, sir.
Oh, not good. I think I'm like deep in thought. Like the person comes around the river and spots me moving rocks and like damming up the river, and I'm like back to them, bent over.
Yeah. And the voice will just casually call out to you, "Oh, hello! How are you doing, stranger?"
I set down my rock and look up.
And
just for a moment, I just pause, a little surprised, but not like startled. I just like casually look up and stare ominously at them, probably ankle deep in the river.
It is an older gentleman with a pack on his back and a walking stick by his side, and he just seems to be hiking up the creek. He's got a big hat on, sandals, no weapons, maybe like a little knife at his side for carving his meat or whatever. And he approaches.
Okay, I let him approach. I think I say nothing. I do nothing. I just like stand up and turn and stare as he walks up creek. After an awkward pause, I will say, "Greetings, traveler. Going for a walk?"
"I seek the great and mighty prophet Atropos in her cave. Do you know the way?"
I can do you one better. I am Devon, the acolyte of Atropos.
"Really?" His eyes go wide. He speaks with disbelief.
I nod. "Are you from Romulus?"
No. I came from a small town on the coast. A little village. You wouldn't know of it."
"Then, so long as you don't interrupt my work, you may pass freely, and I will tell you what I know. My demeanor will switch from, I don't know, ominous and creepy or whatever to more at ease. And I like sit down on a rock. I'll go to my pack and like get out my supplies and like offer him a heel of bread or something.
Thank you.
Say Atropos's cave is northeast of Necrot, maybe about 2 days northwest.
Oh, I see. But, 2 days northwest, north of a village called Necrot.
I nod. If I may ask, why do you seek prophecy?
He pauses and clears his mind. He's ready to tell you his tale. This may sound strange to you, but we're a small fishing village, and the fish have stopped biting. And I wanted to seek a prophet and see what we must do to appease the gods and bring the fish back to our lands, to our shores.
Stopped biting. Have you tried changing your bait?
Yes, we have tried changing our bait, and we've moved down the water line in each direction and went out on rafts to find what we could, but not a single fish has bitten since the last full moon.
Are the fish gone?
The last
or
new moon.
Just uninterested.
We have not seen them either. We believe that we must have done something wrong. We must have angered Nadinus somehow, and I seek to make amends, but I know not how. They say Atropos is her visions and wisdom are infinite. When you said you were an acolyte, what does that mean?
Means I have trained with Atropos. Learned all she has to teach.
Do you know what
of my own?
Do you know what we must do to bring the fish back?
I do not, but I can visit with your fish and see what they say.
Really? You can speak to the fish?
Let's see. I can swim.
Well, that's a start.
Perhaps.
But perhaps I should really take this to Atropos herself. I wouldn't... No offense, but I wouldn't want, I would like to seek a person of great wisdom and knowledge. Not
I narrow
their
my
sidekick.
eyes for a second. Very well. I told you where Atropos can be found. Where is your village?
Near the coast. Have you just continue in that direction, southeast, for, 15 miles or so? You'll find it. It's, called Sinus. He looks around. You've got a little shrine built here. There's a flow of rocks. The the creek's been slightly diverted. What's all this about? He starts walking towards the shrine.
People of Romulus have transgressed against the gods.
Them too. Poor bastards.
I nod slowly. They will drink of their own blood.
Well, I should get going soon, he says, leaving the shrine immediately.
Have a nice day. Is Platos in the shrine right now? Is that where he's taking a
he is
presence,
in the shrine, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And the old man just moves on, continues hiking up the creek.
Yeah.
You are left alone.
When things are set in motion here, perhaps I will visit his village and see what's going on in the ocean. But
more days pass. I guess
what I
you
really
have.
could use is people heading downriver to take nasty rumors into Romulus, to warn them, or to, I don't know if warn is the right way, but tell them of their fate.
Well, that might be your lucky day then. Give me another perception check to see who spots who first as you are approached by another person
No.
coming to the creek.
I am descending more and more into the zone. I have become the creepy creek tender.
Yes. This time it is someone coming down the hill, not up or down the creek, but just down the hill a little bit north of your position with a small flock of sheep. It seems to be the same sheep herder from last time, the guy at the other village. And he's bringing his sheep over here to water and spots you.
And I think by now, this has been like 5 days?
Yeah, it's been like 5 days.
Yeah, this like whole little creek bed is totally transformed and like landscaped. It's pretty dry, so it's not like it's not a garden per se, but more like what's the word? It's like a rock garden. So like all sides have been like terraced in geometric patterns, and there's like rock arrangements on all of the tiers, and the river is sort of diverted in front of this small rock, and it's probably like a wooden structure up on stilts. It's a nice stacking of stones.
Okay.
Pagoda where the spirit Atropos lives, and I think he sees me. I stripped to my waist in the hot sun, like arranging, I don't know, digging with my hands, setting up one of these terraces, maybe across the canyon from him.
Yep.
Totally oblivious.
You are alerted to his presence as one of the sheep is coming down the hill. He's wading through the creek.
I wipe the sweat off my brow and look across to him.
Yeah, he's just hanging out north of you, maybe, 150 feet, 100 feet or something.
This is the same shepherd from before? And I will walk towards him if he doesn't retreat in terror.
He doesn't. He just kind of hangs out with his feet in the cool water. His son is with him. The dog is coming up, lapping from the water. The goats are coming down to sip. The sheep are coming down to sip from it as well. And he will wave as you approach.
I will approach. Greetings again, shepherd. I must warn you, the waters south of here will not be safe much longer.
Oh? What's wrong with the water? And he puts a cane to his sheep's heads and starts to try and pry them from the creek.
The people of Romulus have transgressed against the gods. The garden I tend here will sprout forth justice, vengeance. The waters from this river henceforth will be tainted, and the Romulans will drink of their own blood. Go forth, shepherd, and tell of this prophecy.
You look like you need some shade. You've been out in the sun a little long. Perhaps, he comes over and puts a hand to your forehead gently, feels the heat from it. Perhaps you've been out in the sun too long. You seem to be feverish. Maybe a little crazed. What do you mean you're tainting the waters?
Simply what I've said. Me and my spirit are weaving a magic through this land. Through the earth.
He looks over to your little shrine. Is that where your spirit lives?
I nod.
Right. And all the whole creek?
I shrug. Look, have you an offering you wish to make to Platos?
He considers it for a moment. Well, give me a charisma check.
You too have been wronged by the Romulans, have you not? Charisma check.
Certainly the people of Romulus have harmed my people, but have kidnapped our youngest son, our proudest son.
Okay,
our son.
Right?
Yeah.
Well then, spread the word that so that everyone knows.
I will certainly tell of your tales when I return to my village.
Yeah, let's see. So that they learn the lessons of the Romulans.
Right.
And do not repeat their mistakes.
Well, you look busy. I'll leave you to tending the area. Let me just water my sheep and dog, and I'll be on my way. Good day, sir. And he, keeps his kid away from you a good distance and goes back to tending his sheep. And once they've had their fill, he shuffles them off. And they will vanish. And I believe it is the next day that you wake and you hear a hissing from the shrine, and Platos tells you it is ready. It is time.
I will walk down to the shrine.
Okay, he will slither out of the shrine and plunge his head into the creek, and flowing out from him will be a change in the water. It will turn red and viscous and sticky and smelly, and blood will flow through the creek southward. And the creek has this, it comes down nice and clean, and then it takes a bit of a twist towards the little shrine, and then right where the snake's head is, it just transforms into blood. And it's a slow-moving creek, so it's pretty still most areas, but from this little pool onward is now just flowing blood.
Does he stop eventually? How long is Platos in the water doing this?
He's in there for half an hour or so, plunging his head under the water.
I watch.
And eventually, once a large enough area has been transformed, he pulls his head back out and looks upon you. It is done. They will know the name Platos and worship it.
Nod. Excellent. Do we need to stay here, or is the seed of blood sown?
As long as I stay in my shrine, so it will continue to flow.
So you have to stay here, I say.
If a snake can have facial expressions, I don't know if it can. This one looks at you for a moment like he maybe just revealed a little bit too much about how his magic works to you.
I have an animal handling proficiency. Do I need to roll that check?
I mean, he's sure.
It's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The slip of the tongue has been done.
Should I stay here and protect you?
If you stay, they will come.
I nod. I will spread word through the countryside of your power, Platos. And they will come and give tribute.
What will you do now? Do you seek them in Romulus? Will you wait for them to arrive?
I do not know.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps I must think on this. Is it not enough of a punishment from the gods that they must now drink their own blood? It won't be long before they are dying of thirst, begging you for mercy.
He says nothing. He seems fine with that. Yeah.
I'm open if he has suggestions, but I think Devon may just circle around Romulus and head south to this fish village.
Leaving the god here?
I think so.
Okay.
He bit me and poisoned me. Like, what's...
Yeah, I mean, he can certainly defend himself.
Right? I don't know if I should stay here and guard him. I mean, I asked him if he wanted me to stay and guard him, and he was like, if you stay, they'll come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can head off southward even further to the other village.
I think now that the garden has been assembled, the magics have been wrought, curse has been set.
Mm-hmm.
My work is done for now until they probably show up and trash the place.
Yeah.
So I'll probably circle around Romulus and check out what was it called? Sinus. There you go. See if I can find Sinus, and I don't know, maybe swim into the water and talk with some fishes.
All right.
Don't have comprehend languages. That doesn't let you talk with animals or anything.
No, I think you need to speak with animals to speak with animals.
There you go.
And I think that's a clerical spell.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, well, you can head on southward. Why don't you move yourself the next day? A couple of hexes.
Yeah.
And you wanted to pass around the village, right?
Yeah, so I think I will circle to that hex first. I don't know if that gets me around the village.
Yeah, I mean, each of these hexes is about 5 miles across, so if you want, you can just go through the hex. Yeah.
Okay.
So you will
get. I think on grass I can move faster, right?
Yeah.
On grass costs 6, so I can go from
4.
2 to 4 hexes.
Yes, you can move twice as fast on the grass.
But that was half of my movement getting off of that. Oh no. This is
you
I can
did
move 4 hex. I started in the end of this hex.
Right, so it's 10 movement to get through this hex. And so
does the movement tick as you're leaving? So it's to leave the hills costs me to leave the hills costs me 10 movement?
Yes, to leave the hills costs you 10 movements. Then you'll have 14 left over, so you could do 2 more through the grasslands if you wish.
Okay, so there's 1... Oh, but then I find the coast,
yes,
later that afternoon.
Yes, later that afternoon, indeed. You do come across the coast here, and you will see there...
Does the creek run all the way to the coast?
The creek does run all the way to the coast, yes.
So I guess I will come to warn these people that the river is about to run red with blood.
Do you walk faster than the creek or slower than the creek flows?
Probably faster than the creek.
I think you probably walk faster than the creek, yeah. And since you don't have to rest overnight, then you will arrive here before the waters turn. But following behind you within the next 24 hours will be a creek of blood.
Okay. There is a fishing village here?
There is a village here at the base of the creek. Yes.
All right. I will walk in to the village.
The people see this stranger coming through their lands. And one of the farmers here, because they will do a little bit of cropping, one of the wheat farmers will raise a hand and wave to you and approach you, scythe over the shoulder.
Yeah. Is he the only one, or are there a bunch of people?
There are people, but
around?
This is the first person that you will be running into. They're not all congregated together. So the farmer approaches you.
People of Sinus, I shout. Do I have the right village?
Yes, this is Sinus.
I am Devon. from Necrot, and I bring prophecy. Foul tidings.
That can't be. We've sent our elder to go to undo the foul tidings.
I spoke with your elder, but that is not what I speak of. It is the Romulans. They have transgressed against the gods and will soon face their wrath. They have been, they will be cursed to drink of their own blood. But, unfortunately for you, you are downstream of these heretics.
So we will be punished for their ways?
I shrug, and I think leave this guy behind to go deliver a similar message through the village.
Sure. As you come through the village with your preaching, those that are around will pop out to see you. It's the middle of the day, so most people are out in their fields or tending to the goats or out in the water doing whatnot. I guess it's not the middle of the day, it's near the end of the day, but you have movement left, so it's not too late.
Yeah.
And
like afternoon sometime. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can spread your message.
Yeah. Warn them that the Romulans have been cursed. Choke on their own blood. But, yeah. Actually, I guess I will, if I can get them to take me seriously, I will tell them to prepare, right? To, like, collect water from the river before it is, tainted.
They already feel like they're cursed, and they've sent off their village elder to go, like, get visions from gods on how to solve their curse. And then you're like, hey, guys, there's a new curse coming to town. And they're like, shit. And they, with buckets and baskets, fill anything that they can with water.
Is there any source of water other than the river?
This creek is their only source of fresh water. And I guess you can watch them. They will roughly get like a week of water for their people. But that's just like people's drinking water. They would also use this creek to water fields and crops and whatnot, which will start to wither probably sooner than a week.
There's a problem. Maybe the crops will like blood.
It's got electrolytes, man. It's what the plants need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think in the late afternoon, I will sit on the shore and look out into the ocean. Is it sea? Saltwater?
Saltwater, yes. You gaze across the open ocean out to the distant horizons. The sun sets at your back, giving you a clear view as the first stars begin to pop out into the sky. You will be approached as you sit here by a couple of people in town. You'll notice that it's some of the younger, braver men who have some sticks that they've picked up, just in case you're violent, and one of the elder women from town. And they approach you and alert you to their presence as they come up from behind you, not trying to startle you or anything.
Hello, I say.
Hello, says the elder woman. You bring a curse upon us. What must we do to end it?
Romulans bring the curse. I'm merely warning you that you're downriver from them.
Well, what must we do to end their curse?
I don't know.
Oh.
Kill them? Strike at them as they've struck at you?
They're too many and too strong.
Have they kidnapped any of yours?
The older woman bows her head slightly at the shame of one of her grandchildren being taken and her having nothing to do about it, and acquiesces. Yes, they kidnapped Brianna, my granddaughter. She's but 5 years of age, and they took her.
Well, I'm sorry. With any luck, she will be returned to you safe when all this is over.
Can't you do something about this? One of the young boys says, "Why don't we just beat him?" And raises a stick.
Beat me, I say.
Yeah. If he brings it, we'll just beat him until he undoes it. Not quite grasping that you are a messenger and not the creator.
I mean, I am the creator, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
Your fury is justified, but misdirected. Where was this anger when the Romulans came and took your daughters?
There were a lot of them, and they were bigger than you. One of them had a brass shield. An armor.
When they came to Necrot and kidnapped our elder's daughter, I tracked them into the hills.
I'll track you into the hills, he says, raising his stick again and coming closer to you. The woman cries out to him to not create violence, but he does not listen.
I guess I ready a block or whatever if he attempts to.
Yeah, he will attempt to
attack.
strike you. Give me a block maneuver. He will roll a 14.
So I think actually that doesn't even clear my AC.
Yeah,
so my block, I hit, but it's higher than his, so his goes through, but it doesn't even.
But he
doesn't clear
misses
my
you
AC.
anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it deflects. Let's see. I've only got it deflects off of my armor spell.
Right.
So maybe that's enough to indicate to him that something's amiss. But...
Yeah, the blow comes near your head and then just sort of like glances before quite striking you.
And then I think I will attempt to disarm. Let's look up those rules.
Ooh.
And I'm probably gonna have trouble with this, but
yeah, I think you need to hit AC 16 with an attack.
Or something like that. No, AC 0.
You need a.
Well, the intended victim missed hit AC 16.
You have to hit AC 0 to disarm?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But there's no opposed check then. You just have to beat
There is an opposed check. They roll
afterwards?
against AC 4.
Oh, okay. It's just the one.
Two-handed weapon gives you a 4-point bonus.
Ooh, a quarterstaff is a two-handed weapon.
So it is. I do need to roll a 16.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll see.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
And I can attempt it with my fist at minus, or not at minus, but it doesn't get the 4, so I need to roll a 19 or a 20.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, like, his first attack misses, and then I, go to strike his staff and grab his staff, and he's, dodging out of the way.
Is that 3 your fist attempt?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
to grab his staff.
Yeah. He pulls the stick back and stumbles back a few feet, a little surprised that his clearly aimed blow at your head just, went somewhere else.
Yeah.
And he said, What is this? What are you, a sorcerer?
Today I am a prophet, warning you of tomorrow's fate.
The woman says, Now, Jacob. Leave him be. He means us no harm. He's simply the messenger. And Jacob steps back a little ways.
Keep practicing. You may need that stick one day.
The woman asks you how you came to know that this place will soon be filled with blood.
The spirit Platos that acts on behalf of the gods is known to me. I've spoken with him.
She grunts at you. And you cannot convince him to undo this curse?
Perhaps I could, but it wouldn't be prudent to go against the wills of the gods. The Romulans have sinned and must be punished accordingly.
Well, then I will go to Romulus myself and beg with them to appease the gods and end the curse on us all.
Nod.
All right. And with that, she will go immediately with the young boys. The one guy that raised a stick to you, Jacob, will stick around for 30 seconds or so, like looking for an opening, wanting to beat you over the head with a stick, but give up and head back.
I'm tempted to go into the water and see what this fish business is about.
But you will? You
I don't know
won't?
if there is a but.
Do you go in? Do you speak with the fishes? Will you sleep with the fishes?
I think I can speak with the fishes, but I do have a potion of water breathing. So I could go for a deep swim. Did the potion identification tell me exactly what the potion does? Or I guess it was Atropos that identified it. Did she tell me exactly what it does?
Yes.
Do I know how many doses are in there or anything like that?
It's one dose. You quaff the whole thing at once, and it will sort of like, it'll fill your body and your lungs and everything with air. So as you go underwater, you won't need to breathe in water. You'll just have like infinite air, essentially, in your lungs.
Yeah, as written, the potion contains 2 or 4 doses, but this is just one dose.
This is just one dose.
Teacup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Into the water we go.
I think so. I guess I don't take all of my stuff. Right? It'd ruin everything. So I'll leave my pack somewhere. I don't want these nasty villains. So I think I will walk a little ways down the beach and find a hidden spot to stash my stuff. Like behind, I don't know, like a little cliff or a dune or something where I could put my backpack for an hour while I go into the water and swim.
Okay. You find a little hidden spot, and you can go put your stuff in the water.
My stuff not in the water.
Or put yourself in the water, but your stuff on the land. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, and I will strip down to my small clothes. Freshly tanned, olive skin glistening in the sun. And I will drink one of the potions of water breathing.
You consume it in its entirety, and you are able to go into the water and swim around. You said you had a swimming proficiency?
You have a swimming proficiency.
Clutch.
I will keep... I think I'll take a knife with... I don't actually have a knife proficiency, do I? So I guess if I need to fight anything, I will fight at -1,000,000 and get eaten to death by eels.
All right. Well, you enter the water near the village of Cydnus, and I think this is where we will end for the day, as you go to explore the fish and see what they're all about.
Last week we ended the cliffhanger of not knowing what the poison was going to do. This week we end awaiting the eels to descend upon us.
Yes, the eels. The shrieking eels.
Ooh. They shriek now?
Maybe. I don't know. Are you a princess? Are you about to get married? If not, they're not shrieking. And that'll be it for Dicing with Death. So...
Yeah. We'll do XP next week? Is that the plan?
Oh, did you not get any XP for last week?
I'm level 2. No, I got XP last week.
Okay. So let's do some XP here then. You fought off 2 guards.
I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break while you calculate.
Sure, I'll calculate. Yeah,
I'll let chat argue on my behalf.
Perfect. I love having people who argue with me that I don't pay attention to. So let's see. 2 of these little soldier boys. Let me get a. Where's it? regalgoblins.com/toolbox.php, of course. Experience generator. That's right. 0 to hit, 5 damage. X per round 1. Yep. Yeah, this is totally right. Okay. So they do a little bit more damage, and they had a little bit more HP.
Okay. So did we get taming the god and killing some guards?
No, I've been doing monster calculating XP this whole time, so
okay.
Haven't gotten there yet. So it's 155 for each of the dudes. That brings it to 310. Plus, you have a god in your pocket. That's probably a pretty eventful experience for someone's life, right? You've sort of tamed not tamed, but have aligned yourself with I don't even know how quite to describe him, a minor deity, a spirit, a demon, a sylph, something.
Did you have combat XP if I were to have fought him?
Oh, you did? Well, I think we'll just instead of combat, it'll be a story event XP.
I mean, exactly. But if it were if this were befriending I don't know, 2000 XP flying snake or whatever his equivalent is, that seems like a reasonable baseline for the.
Yeah.
Is he a flying snake? Did I guess that correctly?
He does not have wings, but I had flying snakes in mind when I was designing him.
Yeah.
I didn't look at their stat blocks because I was hoping we wouldn't get into a fight. And my hopes were realized. Snake, flying. Fortunately, this one winged does not fly.
1400 experience is what they give.
Well, let's see. Dice.
So it seems like a reasonable baseline. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me just. I have this new experience calculator that's overly complicated, like all my things, and so I'm testing it out. 5 damage of attack is kind of low, but he does have poison. Let's see. He does have a strong poison bite. Dead. AC. None of that. None of these things. And then we'll just add a little bit more to this because he is godly. So that's going to be... He's worth 2,500 experience for befriending.
Cool. And split. Although I guess fighter gets extra XP for the hit die. The 2 guys that I beat up.
Right. Let's see. Then you have also discovered a few new villages, sort of explored your area. You rescued the girl, which is worth XP on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll say the other villages you've discovered are worth minor experience.
Yeah.
So all told is 3,710 divided between the
2.
two. Yeah. So 1,855.
Plus 1,855 times 1.1. Actually, that's only for the fighter or for the wizard. And then for the fighter, do I get is it 10 XP per level per hit die? Is that what it is?
10 XP per hit die per level, yeah.
So
So
level 2, so is just 40 XP.
It would be 40 XP for the two guys that you fought. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, I guess you sort of defeated that last kid, but I don't know. You just he just tried to hit you and didn't. Yeah.
I didn't really defeat him in combat. I kind of avoided combat. All right.
Yeah.
So that brings my fighter to 5,2,1,2. I think fighter needs 6. No, it needs
2, 4.
8.
2, 4, 8.
Okay, no, it needs 400. Right.
4,
so I do
yeah.
level the fighter.
Yeah.
Let's see. So fighter is now 5,2,1,5. All right, and wizard does get the 10% on that 1,855.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be plus 1,855 times 1.1. And then spell levels, it was extinguish and a 1 glancing blow.
Extinguish, ignite, and glancing blow.
Would you count ignite? That was more just like a convenience to turn my fire back on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
2 spells.
2.
And that was the snake spell to turn everything. So that's not your spell. I think it was just 2 spells. You don't get experience for using a potion, do you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
And I haven't even done that yet. So is it 50 per spell cast, right? So it's 100 experience, 110 with a 10% bonus.
And yeah, because those are both first level spells, right?
Bringing my total to 6129.75, which will level up my wizard as well, right?
Levels at 2.5 and at 5.0.
Yep. So both are going to level. So I'm a 3/3. Cool.
Wow, this is like what, the 3rd session as well? 4th session?
I think so. Yeah. So I'm up to +2 to hit. Level 3. I think I also am going to get some more proficiencies.
Oh.
Which I'll worry about another time. Let's go ahead and roll HP.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. I would have really expected you to have more fighter XP than wizard, but you don't. It's quite the opposite.
I have 10% bonus, and then it's the spells casting.
And the spells, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be D10 plus D6 divided by 2 plus 1 from con.
Mm-hmm.
Meh.
That one's all right.
4 HP total, so bringing me to 16.5.
I think on average, your average roll should be 4.5 between the two.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. +1 should be 5.5. So yeah, this was not great. You also get D willpower for spells for MP.
9, not bad. So that brings
that is 3 more first level spells.
7. And I get second level spells.
You will get access to second level spells now. Yes.
Yep. And a couple proficiencies. I think fighter would get a weapon at 3, wizard would get a non-weapon at 3, right?
Yep.
So I think I get one of each.
Yep.
You don't gain proficiencies whenever either would, right? You just pick the fastest ascending and then...
Correct.
Yeah. I'll figure out what those are later. I think the non-weapons it seems like we're going the omen reading route with all the smoke huffing, but I guess we'll see. Maybe a knife from the weapon, but I'll think about it. And then let me double check saves.
Fighter saves should go up, and I think you'll have better death saves as a
goes
fighter.
Up at 3.
Breath weapon as a fighter probably will be improved.
14, 16, 50. Yeah, the only thing... No, nothing.
Not even breath weapon?
Not even. Breath weapon level 1 wizard is 15. Level 3 fighter is 16.
Are all the first level wizard saves better than the third level fighter saves?
Yes.
Across the board?
Across the board.
Damn.
Oh, no. PPD. There we go.
There we go.
So my paralyzation, poison, death magic goes from 14 to 13. Breath weapon. No. I think it makes sense, right? Warriors are meant to be good in combat, so they should have higher AC, better to hit, but like versus magic attacks, wizards are better. Sure.
Yeah. I'm surprised breath weapon isn't higher on fighters, but maybe I don't know.
It eventually gets higher, but yeah, I don't really like the way they do. Like, I don't understand the way they set up saves. I always thought rogues should have the highest breath weapon save, and they definitely don't. In fact, it's the worst.
That is weird.
Or like grant dex bonuses on breath weapon saving throws or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll rework it all slowly over decades of playing D&D.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Cool
that'll
stuff.
wrap us up for this. There will be a critical feedback in an hour. Ryan, are you going to stick around for that, or do you have duties to attend to?
Do you want me to stick around for that? Yeah, I probably can.
Yeah. It's nice having someone else around, so I'm not just like rambling and shouting at myself the whole time.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Well, thanks for watching. If you're watching this live, hang around for an hour, and we'll...
And we'll have some critical feedback for you. So see you all then. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.